It should be popping up here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 39th episode of the Cabrini Kid podcast. I am your host, the Cabrini Kid himself, the champ, David Haywood. Over to my left, I have the illustrious, the well-known Mr. Perkins to you, as you can find him on Instagram. Say what's up to the people.
What up? Happy Wednesday. I missed you guys.
Happy hump day. And then right below us, we have our guest this week. Miss Aprill is joining us. She's going to obviously provide a little balance to our conversation today. So say what's up to the people.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I don't have a cool sound effect or anything like that, but I'll let him do it for me.
You'll find one. So today we want to kick it off with a very interesting topic, one that we have a little video for. So we're gonna go ahead and play this.
Mother that is not widowed is not your wife. It's not for you, bro. I know that this is gonna be one of the most controversial things that I say tonight, but I'm just gonna tell you. If she had a kid out of wedlock, I would never advise a guy to do something that I wouldn't do. Okay. And before you even consider getting in a relationship, now this is much different than a guy that just chooses to have sex with her. I don't dick police. I do say exercise a level of dick discipline, because you never want to fumble the bag as a result of dealing with a woman at all. Women have largely been the bane of a lot of men's existence, and it is the downfall of some of the biggest kingdoms. You work your whole life, you build it up, and then you fumble it over a woman. All right. So, never deal, or I would never advocate for a man to marry a woman, that is a single mother.
So, Mr. Anton said that he would never advocate for a man to marry a woman who's a single mother. Aprill, since you are a guest, we're gonna kick it off with you. What has been your experience, because you are a single mom?
I am. Yes, that's correct.
Tell us a little bit about what your experience has been as it relates to
the topic.
Yeah, to what your options have been.
Okay, so I mean, let's see. I was a single mom of two, to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met the father of my children, my three children. So then, I had children. He had no children when I started dating him. So I have dated men that don't have children, and I've dated men that do have children. I would say for me personally, I kind of had the same mindset, right? So when I first started dating, I was a little nervous because I was like, oh my God, like I'm a single mom. I have two kids, that's gonna be hard, right? That was just, society gives you so many negative things sometimes that was my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, till this day, and this is I'm gonna just spit it out there. I have 8 children total now. Okay. So I'm a single mom. I was waiting for him to say something. Obviously, it wasn't my plan to have 8 children, right? But God had a bigger plan for me, and by his will, not mine. So it is what it is. I mean, so now I'm a single mom of 8 children. But I will say, like, I've always had that mentality where when I start talking to a man, I will tell them it, like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm putting it all on the table. Like, I don't sugarcoat it. I don't try to hide it. I own it. It's mine. And like, I've told guys in the past, like, hey, trust me, you don't want these problems, like, run now. Like, I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have 8 kids, like, you don't have no kids, go now. Like, just trust me. And what have I gotten as a response is, like, oh, that doesn't bother me. I'm not going anywhere. Like, that doesn't scare me. But I think that that's more has to do with the physical, right? Like,
They
if they're
just they're
physically
still trying to clap at that point, right?
right. So that's always where my mind has been. Like, yeah, you say that now because you're trying to get in where you fit in, and it might not, be an issue right now, but later on down the road, when
Mhm.
you actually see what that comes with or what that entails, that might scare you, and you might decide, like, hey, yeah, this is not for me, which is fine. Like, I respect that, but I do bring that up as the first thing when I meet somebody, because I don't want to waste anyone's time, and I don't want to waste my time. And I don't want to introduce somebody to my kids that later on things are going to fall apart or fall out. And then it's
Mhm.
my kids who end up suffering that consequence, because they get attached, and it just turns ugly. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard in that sense. But that, like, that just it just kind of is what it is. And I've dated guys with kids, and that's kind of hard sometimes too, because you don't really know what the children's mother's like, and you kind of don't know if she's still kind of like bitter over the breakup, and is it going to cause drama. um is it going to be like a constant toxic, like, we're always fighting, because that's not healthy, and that's not what I want.
Mhm.
um Me as a single mom, I would say, when the father of my children decides to get like a new girlfriend, for me, it's so important that I get along with her, because she's going to
Mhm.
be around my kids when I'm not there. And for me, I would want somebody that's going to love and take care of my kids the way I do. So I could never understand how, women, when their father's children, did I say that right? Their children's father moves on. I can
Mhm.
never understand how they have so much animosity towards the new girl, and they want to create problems, and they want to have drama all the time. I'm like, girl, like, that girl loves your kid. Like, if that kid was her own, why would you not want that for your child? Because then you're at peace with when the child is with their
Mhm.
dad, the child is safe and they're loved and they're cared for the same way that you do. Like, I would feel like that's the most important thing. But I guess
Mhm.
everyone's different. I don't know. I guess everyone kind of handles it differently, and maturity has a lot to do with it too.
Right. We got a couple people checking in. Best of the best. Hey, just joined in. I figured out who that was. KP, that's Landon. He even got on YouTube and subscribed. Felix checking in. Felix said, Ocho.
Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep.
He said, Ocho.
Yes.
He said, I respect it.
Thank you.
So, all right.
He
So
said
first
he
and
was.
so first
I'm
and
nervous.
foremost, so first and foremost,
Hmm.
no, seriously, I also want to say happy belated Mother's Day too, as well.
Thank you.
Happy belated
Thank you.
Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Happy belated to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Chevy said, what up?
What's good, Chevy? I don't know who you are, but what's good? Felix, what's good? Landon, what's good? See, I was gonna come with something different, and I knew that was him. Now that was him, I tempered my tone. But no, yeah, I think that's amazing. That's
It's
amazing. But
it's definitely not an easy hat to wear. Like, it's not.
so
It's
so I do have questions. So you have 8 by one guy?
no. I have 3 different guys
Okay.
that I have kids with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say something else.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nick checked
hey,
in. Nick, what's up?
hey.
Monica said, that's right. Hats off to her.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say this in the most cleanest way, because I know David wants me to be clean. I'm gonna say this in the most cleanest way. You must got that. You must got Jesus Christ. I mean,
I know where
come
you're going
on.
with it. I know where you're going with it. And the
You
only reason
know,
why I know, and the only reason why I know where you're going with it is because I've heard it multiple times. So I know
you must
I know
got
what you're
that.
saying. I wouldn't know because like I wouldn't know. I have gotten told that plenty of times. So I
Sheesh.
mean I don't.
Felix
So
said, "Get you one
To
more
be
for a
fair though,
baseball team."
to be fair though, this is a little bit of what happened. So obviously I didn't plan on having 8 children. It wasn't like I was like, oh, like I just want to have a big family, and it wasn't like I was just out there sleeping with just anybody to have kids. That's not what had happened. um Birth control didn't work for me 4 times. So out of those 8 children, 4 of those were birth control failures. I tried 4 different birth controls and it just did not work for me. And I tried to get my tubes tied twice, which I was denied because of my age. I guess here in Arizona, you have to
Yeah,
be
you have to be
at
over
least
a certain age.
28 or something like that. And I was not at that age. So I got denied, even though I had the first time I tried, I had 6 kids. And the second time I tried, I had 7. They still denied me. So I was like, oh my God,
Arizona's a wild place.
you know what it's so I was just like, this is insane. And after I had my 8th child, I said I was 28 now, and I was like, oh my God, I told my doctor, I said, I cannot do this anymore. Like, birth control is just not working for me. I got denied twice. Like, I'm 28, give me the paperwork. And she was just like, do you want to get your tubes tied? And I said, no, I want to get my tubes removed, like, completely. I don't want.
Come get them.
Yeah, take the transmission, take the engine. It works perfectly
Come
fine.
get the
Give it to
alternator,
somebody. Yeah,
everything.
everything that you need. Take whatever parts because they work just great. And I'm sure there's somebody that can use them. But she was like, "Are you sure? Because that's a permanent thing." I said, "No disrespect, but I have 8 children. I am positive I'm done." Like, there's a lot. There's no way I'm gonna be like, "Well, let me think about it." No. Um, she was like, okay, so she gave me the papers and we did it far enough in advance so that it takes a while for them to approve it.
Mhm.
So I think I was around, I don't know, 5 months or so pregnant when I did the paperwork. And then by the time I had the baby, they had approved it. So I had to wait 3 months after the baby to get the surgery though, which is kind of weird, but I guess you have to wait 3 months. So during those 3 months, I was at my mom's house. My mom was like, nobody look at her, nobody touch her, don't nobody come near her because she's very fertile like that. So thankfully I was able to get that surgery done. And then, it's been 5 years since I've had, almost 6 years now since I've had that surgery. And thank God, because I've heard stories where women have tied their tubes, and as the years go by, the tubes come untied and they get pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, like that would be my story. That's why I don't want to tie them. I want them completely out. But I also hear stories where women get pregnant not having tubes. So it's kind of scary still, but I'm just
Mhm.
like, yeah, it was just, so it wasn't like I was out there trying to have a big family. It just happened that way. And, I'm okay with it now. Like, I understand, that was God's plan for me. So
But you weren't not
if,
crying.
I mean, I wasn't like completely,
I mean, at least one of y'all
I
was
didn't, I
not
wasn't,
crying.
I wasn't having my chastity bound or nothing like that. But yeah, so I just thought birth control would do its thing and it did not. And it just was all bad. But it is what it is. I feel like if God knew I couldn't handle it, he wouldn't have gave it to me. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm content with, whatever happened, it happened, and I take care of it. And, that's just my life.
Geneva says someone's got to produce for the rest of us who aren't interested.
Amen. Amen. Somebody had to do it. Yeah.
Felix said, "Are these all relationships?" Probably not the best question.
They were. So with my first baby dad, I was with him for 6 years. Um, and then with my second, I was with him for 4.5 years, 4.5 years. And then the last one, I was with him for 7 years. So it wasn't like, like I said, I wasn't out there just like, hey, you look like you could have good kids. Come here. I was in long-term relationships with these guys. Yes.
Chuck, you know Chuck from your from the Facebook post. Chuck's checking in
Yeah,
with us. Chuck said,
yeah,
"Did
yes.
you say eighth child? How do you prepare breakfast?"
Wait. Say that again?
He said, "How do you prepare breakfast for 8 kids?"
Oh my God. Okay. So right now, thankfully, not thankfully, but right now they're on, summer break. So they don't all live with me. My oldest son, he's 18. So
Hmm.
he's on his own. He lives with his father because his father is recently separated, and his father didn't want to live alone. So he decided to go stay with his father. Um and my oldest daughter, she's also living with her partner. She's gonna have a baby this year. So her and her partner, they live together. The three middle children, which are 13, 12, and 11, they're with their grandma. Um, so,
Hmm.
just the three little ones who are 8, 7, and going on 6 are the ones that come with me more than the other ones do. Like they go back and forth between me and their dad.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't prepare breakfast for 8 kids anymore. But when I did, when I was preparing breakfast for all of them, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. And my partner who I was with at the time worked a lot because we had a big family. Um, so because he was always working, I was always home alone with them. So yeah, it definitely is not an easy task, and it's not easy, but thankfully my oldest two, they were a huge help. They were like the biggest help I could ask for during that time because they helped me out so much. Like and I didn't even have to ask them for the most part. My oldest daughter, she's like my mini mom. So she would be like, "Oh, mom, like I'll feed the baby or I'll do this and I'll do that." And I was really blessed to have them too as my oldest too because they were great.
Hmm. Now, when it comes to, and you're how old now?
I just turned 34 in
Okay,
May.
you just turned 34.
Yes.
So you're obviously still in your dating prime. Like
Yeah.
you still want to find your person. Um, when you and I know you said that guys will tell you, "Oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's
Right.
okay." And just come over tonight. It's good. And do you feel like do you feel like men I'm trying to think how to say this. Do you think that men mislead themselves as to what that entails, or
Like, are you
you
trying to
allow
ask
them to
me,
mislead themselves?
are you trying to ask me if they say it because they're trying to do the obvious?
No, I'm saying like, do
Oh,
you
okay.
feel like men that you said like if you meet a guy now and let's say I'll date for a year and after a year he says,
Mhm.
"Oh man, this is too much for me. I'm out."
Mhm.
Do you feel like you could have prepared him better at the beginning and told him really what it was going to entail
No,
and
because
saved
that's what
yourself
I
a
do.
year?
That's what I do right at the beginning. Like I put it like it's straightforward. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't try to make it pretty because it's not. Like it's a lot of work, and it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not for the weak. I will say that. Like it is not for the weak. And I think you have to have a really strong, not just a really good heart, but you have to have a really strong mentality to take on kids that are not yours. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that goes for both. That goes for women and
Hmm.
men. Because I know women who don't have kids and they date men that do have kids, and then the women kind of get jealous of the kid in a way, and it's the same way for men too. Like, so I think you have to be really strong in order to date a single mother, a single parent in general. But no, I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't sit there and say like, okay, like come in and you're gonna have to like figure it out as you go. And no, it's like I let you know up front, like, hey, this is, you know what I mean, this is what it is. I'm putting it out on the table before we get serious. Like, I know we're in the talking stage and getting to know each other, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want these problems. It's a lot. run now, like it's crazy. And like if they decide to stick around, like I warned you, I gave you a fair warning. I didn't sugarcoat it, I didn't try to make it seem magical and like this great thing. Like, no, I let you know up front, like this is crazy, like it gets hectic, it can be chaotic, it can be a lot. So you know
That's crazy.
yeah.
So I can't. Okay, so I can't imagine. Again, kudos to you for raising 8 kids. Kudos to you for however many kids are in your household right now. Regardless,
I mean, even
kudos
3 at home is crazy.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
So I've got a few questions. So like one of my questions is, like, where was your mindset after 3 or 4 or 5 or 6?
You mean like
As far as
mentally or like?
like stopping.
Oh, okay. So my plan, my plan. I only wanted to have 4 kids. In my mind, in my little perfect world, right? I only wanted 4 kids and I wanted all boys. The reason why is because my mom kind of traumatized me. She said, when you have your own children, you are going to pay everything that you did back double, if not triple. And that scared me because growing up, I was, let me tell you, I was not I
You
was
was a
not a good
terror.
kid. I was not a good kid and I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing at the ages that I was not prepared to even handle. But as a teenager, I thought I was grown. I thought my mom was trying to hold me back from having fun. Like all these things that teenagers do, right? Like that rebellious thing where like, oh, well, my friend said it's okay and my mom just doesn't want me to have fun and this and right. So in my mind, I was like, oh my God, like I know what I did growing up and I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to go through that. So I don't have no girls. Like I don't want to have no girls. I only want to have boys. And obviously I was laughed at and God said, yeah, I'm going to give you the 4 boys you wanted, but I'm also going to give you 4 girls. And so, I mean, yeah, my plan was 4 kids was the max that I wanted. And that was it for me. And that's just not the way it worked out.
So when it comes to dating, like, do you mind me asking what kind of men do you go for? Like,
No, I don't mind that at all. And you know what? I get that question a lot. I get the question of what's your type? What's the type of man, whatever. And I don't have a type. I'll be honest. Like if you look at my exes, you would probably really judge me because you would be like, "Girl, what did you see in that man? Like what was you thinking?" I don't have a type, but I will say that I do look for certain qualities in a man. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I might think that that person carries that quality or that person will show me that quality in the beginning. And then later on, it's kind of like that person showed me a persona that isn't really his to kind of reel me in. And then once I was attached, it was like, oh, surprise, this is actually who I am. And then I was just like, dang, like
And bam, take
that
this
kind of
baby.
right, like did that kind of suck.
Damn, and another baby. Now
Right.
you stuck.
So I mean, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't have a type. I definitely don't date off looks. Now I'm not gonna say that looks, aren't important because as a human being, physical attraction is a real thing. Like I don't think you can date somebody and not be physically attracted to them. I just don't think that happens. But I don't say, oh, that guy, he has to be the guy that I date has to be, a certain height or has to look a certain way or has to be a certain weight or you know what I mean? Like I don't go off of that. I just genuinely for me personally, it's your personality, your character, your morals, not only how you speak about yourself, but how you speak about others, your heart, like things like that are things that I am attracted to. Those are things that attract me.
Let
That's what
me
I look for.
let me ask you a question, and this might be getting a little bit off topic, but I've observed And since you are a Latina woman, you could speak to this. We have a couple of Latina and Latino men in the chat. They could probably speak on this as well. I feel like Latin women, I'm not going to say y'all don't care what y'all man look like, but that's not high on y'all list. Like it's
That
not
is so
high.
true.
It's
That
not
is so
high
true.
You know
on
what?
the list. Like
I
it's
can't.
like I
even
can't
say you're
ever.
wrong.
I'm 41 years old, right? And I can't tell you that I've ever seen a really attractive Latin woman with a really attractive Latin dude.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. Like, it's rare. Don't get me wrong. You're right. It is rare. But I have seen it. Like, where, you know, a Latin guy and a Latin girl, like, you're like, oh, that makes sense because they're both equally, they look good, you know? But I will say you're right about that. It is rare. And I don't know if that's a Latin thing. Like, I don't know if us Latinas just don't, you know, we just don't put that high on our list, or if that's just how it happens to be. I really don't know.
Because I feel like KP was asking if you like black men, and that's where the question popped up in my mind. Because I was like, I feel like that's just something that even Nick said. Like Nick said, it's rare. Like unless you're watching a telenovela or something like that,
a movie
I feel
or
like
something.
you don't really. I just feel like you don't see that. And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying to speak to what you're saying, like you care more about like personality and that person's heart, that person's work ethic.
I don't know. I think for me personally, it's because I've always had the mind, like the mindset and the mentality of looks are gonna fade. Like we're not gonna look the way we look right now. We're not gonna look like that in our old age. So for me, it's like, yeah, I can have a really handsome guy, but if his personality and his, you know, what he is, like his character and like how he is on the inside, if that's ugly, his outside's gonna be ugly to me because you're an ugly person on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing for girls. I've always felt that way because I've seen really pretty girls, really gorgeous girls, but they have an ugly personality because they think they're better than everybody because, you know, everybody gives them all, you know, like makes their head big and everything like that. And it's the same thing with guys. Guys get so many compliments and it boosts their ego and they're like, yeah, like I can have any girl I want. And, you know, because I look good and I, you know, my body's nice and I work out. And I feel like sometimes they take that and they kind of lose sight a little bit of who they are. So it makes them have an ugly personality. And for me personally, I feel like if you're ugly on the inside, you're going to be ugly to me on the outside, despite what you look on the outside. So I think that's why, for me personally, I've never dated based off of looks because I've had that experience. I have dated really good looking dudes and they were just, you know, like their personalities were just ugly. And I was just like, dude, like, you're great looking on the outside, but you just, you know what I mean? Like, your personality kills it for you. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if all of us Latinas think that way, but for me personally, I've always thought that way.
I saw a bad Latina the other day at Target, and she was with a little cornball Mexican, a little cornball Mexican guy with the Edgar haircut, and
you
I was
know
like,
what?
I was like, what?
I think you know what? I think maybe
Not at Target.
Right, not at Target.
Target,
Target's crazy. But I think what happens is we date a really good looking guy, right? Like we go for the really good looking dude, and what ends up happening, we get hurt, right? Like the dude cheats because he's a good looking dude, he can have any girl he wants. And then we kind of get like scared to date another good looking dude. So we kind of play it safe and we're
You go
kind
the
of like,
other way.
right. We're kind of
Into the
like,
poop
okay,
hut.
he's not the best looking guy, but I know he's not going to hurt me because look at me and look at
He
him. So,
lucky to
you
have
know,
somebody.
right. And I don't know if that's a really bad thing to say because it's kind of like we play it safe. And I don't know if guys do this. I don't know. Maybe you guys can speak to that. You get hurt by a really beautiful girl. I don't know if you kind of like, if you're kind of like, I don't really want to date another really good looking girl because the last one broke my heart. So I'm going to kind of play it safe. And he said, nah.
Like if you're like, oh, I dated a really attractive girl. and she
didn't
was
even
a
know.
waitress and she broke my heart. I'm gonna date another really attractive girl, but she won't be a waitress. She'll
Okay.
she'll
So
work in
you'll
the office.
change it up, but you'll keep your
Right. We're
standard
gonna
at the
single out.
same
We're gonna
at the same
single out
level.
what we thought led her astray.
Yeah.
Like if you date a really attractive girl, but she goes out all the time, the
Yeah.
next girl's gonna be really attractive, but she's gonna be a homebody.
Right. Okay. Got it. All right. Yeah. I agree.
Chuck said, but they be having their own companies and wifey staying home, my boy. Mi gusta, tu dinero, mi campa, and mi amiga.
Are all your kids BDs? Are they Hispanic?
So my first two they are Hispanic, but my first two baby dads, they're more like here we call them
I live in
the word for
Arizona.
we call them Chicanos. Oh, you live in Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
So here in Arizona, I don't know if you've ever heard, but the word Chicano. So it's like their ancestors or their grandparents are from Mexico, but their parents and their families were born here.
Oh, okay.
So, they come from the Hispanic, but they weren't born like in Mexico, or they weren't, their parents were born here, so they're not really like full on. But the third one, he is like full on Hispanic. Like his parents were born in Mexico, came here, got their residency and stuff. So, yeah.
So dating now. So you like, I understand you're honest, yada yada yada. But how do you go about like even having that conversation? Like, are you now? I'm thinking either one or two ways. This way, one or two ways that conversation goes. It either goes to the way of strictly just or it goes, I'm good. You like we could be friends. I don't see too many guys in this day and age, and I'm in the single 2025 dating pool, and there's a lot of pee in this dating pool.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine someone going straight and saying, yes, I want to tackle this. I think I want to take the opportunity to see what this could be.
But see, I think a lot of dudes would.
And you'll be surprised because
I've never
had
a guy.
But here's the key question. Is it sustainable?
That's the question. Okay, that's the question right there.
That's KP's catchphrase. Is it sustainable?
Is it sustainable?
That's the question right there, because guys are gonna say whatever you want to hear. To what I'm saying. Like, guys are gonna say whatever you want to hear. That's the hard part. Because you have to see, like, is this person really like capable of not only stepping in and taking the role? Because here's the thing, and I tell guys this too. I am not looking for someone to come up on and say, like, my kids need a dad. No, my kids have their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're active or not, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not looking for someone to come in and, be like, okay, these are your kids now, like, now you got to help me with X, Y, and Z. Now my finances became yours. And now all of this stuff is now yours. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you would expect for him to assume that role to an extent, right?
Right, to an extent. But my thing is, it's not an like, I don't put that on them as like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna date this girl and now I just became dad to 8 kids and now I have to take on all the financial responsibility and now I have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's not gonna stop at McDonald's on the way home and be like, I'm gonna get me and April a number 3 and them kids on their own because they're not mine.
Right,
you would look at him differently.
Now, right, exactly. So, but I'm saying, like, I don't make it seem like, hey, if you date me, this is all your responsibility now. No, like I just, like I say, like, hey, like they have their fathers, and their fathers do their job. If they don't do their job, it doesn't matter, because I still get up and do it, because at the end of the day, it's still my job. Like my job doesn't stop if their dads decide I can't step up today, or I can't step up this week, or whatever the case may be. Like I still get up and do what I have to do, because those are my kids. So, um I will say, like, I don't know. I've never had a guy tell me that, like that they felt that way, like, oh, like I stepped in and I felt like everything just fell on me, and like I've never had a guy tell me that. But I've also never been that type of girl. Like if you decide to help me on your own, then that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to make you feel like you have to do that.
But I would
If that
feel
makes
like
sense.
if I wanted to stand a chance, I would have to.
Mm,
Like I said, like
mean,
if I'm going grocery shopping, right, and I say, okay, I'm gonna get this stuff.
mhm.
I can't show up with 2 bags of groceries and be like, this is for me and you. You said your kids got their daddy, so I didn't get them nothing. You're gonna be like, okay, you not really trying to commit. You not really
Well,
trying to
I
put,
mean, yeah, but that also speaks to your character, because if you take on the role of dating a single parent, like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna speak on you. For me personally, like if I'm dating a dad, like if I'm dating a guy with kids, I'm not, obviously that's not the type of person I am. So I wouldn't feel right, and it wouldn't sit right with me if I'm thinking of just myself, or just me and my kids, and it's like those are your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I wouldn't feel right. Like that wouldn't sit right with me as a person. So I would be like, yeah, like if we're going to eat, we're all going to eat. It's not just me and my kids, and then you and your kids got to figure out what's going to happen, or it's not just me, you and my kids, and then you got to figure out what you're going to do for your kids. No, it's if I'm going to make food, we're all going to eat. You know what I'm saying? Or if
Mhm.
we're going to go here, and we got our kids, we're all gonna go, or else we just don't go. Like it's just that simple.
Chuck said, my question, any of the dads still get the all access pass? I need answers.
No. And I don't know, you know what? I'm not even gonna say why I don't know, because I do know there are baby mamas and baby daddies that still do that. No, none of my kids' fathers. I don't even talk to my second kid's father. Like he's on his own thing. So I communicate with his grandma and his sister. Um, but no, I to be honest, once I split up with my baby's dads, I no longer looked at them in that way. I didn't hate them. I didn't have no ill feelings toward them. I just wasn't attracted to them anymore. Like there was
Okay.
no type of feeling. It was
You
just
see him
like,
like that
okay,
no more.
right. Like it wasn't like oh, I still want to mess around with you, but I just don't want to be with you. No, it was never like that for me. It was like, like you're okay, like whatever happened. We can be cordial, that's all I want, but we're not going to mess around here from time to time, or because I'm your baby mama you feel some kind of entitlement to me. Like no, that's not, it's never like that. Boundary has always been there. Like it's never been like, oh, me and my baby dad are going to hook up because I'm single and he's single, and we just don't want to be together, but we're still going to mess around. That didn't make sense to me.
KP, you've dated how many women have you dated with children?
Just one. Or well,
Just the
two.
one? Two?
Two.
Did you feel, I don't know if obligated is the right word, but did you feel compelled by external forces to contribute to the household in certain aspects, even though they weren't necessarily your responsibility?
No, I didn't feel compelled to. No.
But did you?
I mean, here and there. I mean, if we were going to dinner, I would pay for all of us. Or if she was making dinner, it would be for all of us. But that was in one instance. In the other instance, the kids weren't even in the home; they were older. So, yeah, I mean, she never made me feel compelled to. She never asked. But I did help around the house with, trash and things of that nature. Dishes sometimes, but yeah, she never.
So it was something that you did out of the kindness of your own heart, but you were never put in the situation where you felt
Yeah,
like you had to do that.
right,
That's
right.
what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, again, no offense to you. If I met a girl and we vibed, I met you out, and this girl told me she had 8 kids, I say, what? That'll be but then, but like I said, that's why I think, like you said, I'm like, you guys both agreed that I could be wrong where more guys do, but that's where I said, is it sustainable? Because if I am that guy that's going to go straight, I mean, I'm going to keep it a bean with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. If it's going to, however long that's going to take, if my goal is to see what that's like, I'm going to see what that's like. And then eventually there's going to be an issue and it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, is it sustainable? Because, some dudes, if it's after they see what it's like and if it's good, they'll keep doing it for a little bit, but then eventually something's going to happen,
Right.
and they're going to use that to fall back on. So that's why I say, is it sustainable? So
I think it just depends on the guy's maturity level and
but
just,
are you cool? Are you cool with that? But are you cool with going this way though?
Yeah, like if a guy were to tell me like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I just don't, I can't do that." Like I would appreciate that. Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean?
That's that way.
Wait, what are you talking about?
This way is the dude says no, thank you. Like we can be cool. That's way.
Oh, okay.
Straight is saying, okay, I'm in. You got 8 kids. I'm with you. This way is just, you know what?
Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. I will say I've done it before. I will say that.
If they were open with you and was like, the attraction was there, and he's like, you know what? 8 kids is too much, but I would love to, still like,
still like you.
Yeah, I still like you. We can still go out to dinner sometime. We can still hang out. But as far as relationship wise,
but I'm not trying to get serious with you, is what you're saying.
If he was straight up with you.
So, okay, so I will say I have done that in the past. Now, since I've been on this whole new in January. In January,
I just started it for my New Year's resolution.
Yeah, after 8 kids, she's on a whole new journey. Cut it out.
No, wait, hold on. Okay, at the end of the day, we're adults, right? We're grown. So for me to say like, like I can't just be out here sleeping around and whatever. That's not what I'm saying, because I would be lying if I said I haven't, said like, I haven't had that grown up moment where I'm like, you know what, like that's cool. Like we can't be serious, but we're physically attracted to each other. It's there, like cool. If that's the route that we're gonna go, so be it. But I will say, in January, I started going back to church. I started doing. I will tell you this though. You got to understand. I got out of a very, very bad relationship. Okay, it was very bad. Like I was with a narcissist. Didn't know it was narcissism at first because you never do at first. Ignored a bunch of red flags. Thought like just completely lied to myself about a lot of things. So I had gone out of a very bad relationship. I was in a very bad place mentally, like not even just physically, but I was mentally in a bad place. So I started going back to church. I got baptized at the end of March. Before I got baptized, I put myself in classes at my church. And I was like on a very serious spiritual healing journey because of what I had just gotten out of, right? I got baptized, and so I look at it a little bit different now. Like, a lot of people say, like, oh, like, there was this one guy who got really offended. I'm gonna tell you right now. There was a guy who got really offended because for the longest time he was trying to go that route, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I did entertain it at at the beginning until it became like he was pushing too much, and it became kind of like a like it was unattractive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
if
you
it happens,
indulged.
if it happens, let it happen, but don't push, because then it becomes like unattractive. It looks desperate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So then I had got baptized, and I remember, like, I had posted like a selfie of me or something, I don't know. And he jumped in my inbox and was like, "Oh, but you stay, like, you stay slacking on me, like." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you're only looking for." Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're only looking for that, and right now where I'm at, I'm not stable for that. Like, I'm not stable to be jumping in bed with nobody right now, and that's not even the type of thing I'm on. He got so offended when I told him that he went out of his way to make a whole, I don't know, he must have forgot that I had him as a friend on Facebook, because he went out of his way to make a Facebook post. All he replied to me was okay. But on Facebook, he went and made a whole post about, "Oh, you get baptized and all of a sudden you're not a hoe anymore." Excuse
Man,
me? I said, oh my God, I didn't know that I had hurt you that bad that you had to go and make a whole post about it. And let me be clear, it's not that I was a hoe, it's just that where I was, the pain and the hurt that I was in, I wasn't thinking, I was just thinking like, "Oh, who cares?" Like, yeah, like, because when you're in a certain mindset, you'll entertain anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll
had y'all
entertain.
been intimate already though?
No, no, never. Like, I never even met this person like, I never met him in person, never hung out with him. But it
Oh,
was
he's tripping.
just right. So he was like, "Oh, like, you get baptized and all of a sudden you're not a hoe." And I was just like, "Oh, I didn't know that I had offended you that bad just because I told you, like, I'm not in that headspace anymore." You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a whole different headspace, and I don't
He
feel
missed
like.
he missed the window.
Right. I
He
said,
had
yeah,
about a two and a
yeah,
half
yeah.
month
And
window.
it's funny. It's so funny. It's so funny because I remember I told my best friends this story, right? We were talking about this, and we started laughing because we were like, bro was really hurt,
The
and then
sliding door closed on him. He was
so
like,
yeah,
"Look."
my best friend was like, he should have, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just mad that he didn't get the old P before you got baptized. Now it's renewed P, so you can't just be out here giving it to every, So we made like a whole joke about it. And it was just funny. And I was just like, yeah, like this, I got baptized. Like, this is renewed P. Like, you can't just be out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be out here sleeping around anymore. No, but it's a whole different ball game. Like, your whole mindset changes, and then you kind of don't want the soul ties. You don't know what someone's dealing with, personally, and you don't want those soul ties. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want somebody could have negative energy. Then you go and sleep with them, and now you got negative energy. Like, someone's lacking motivation, someone's depressed. Now you got all that on you because you went and decided to sleep with that person. Like, it's a whole different mindset now. It's like, yeah, it's just. But I mean, don't get me wrong. In the past, I have done that. I can be honest and say that I have gone that other route where it's like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't know if I could date you, but I still wanna, and it's like, all right, cool. It is what it is. Like, we're grown. Like, ain't no need to beat around the bush. But that's what it's been.
But do you think that you would be disappointed if, let's say, you met a guy? Are you on dating apps?
No, I've
No?
never
Okay.
been. No, I'll be honest. I'm not. I don't feel like I need to go to that extent, but also I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared of dating apps because I feel like that just opens up a whole different type of world, and I don't think I'm ready for that.
So let's okay, so you meet a guy out somewhere organically and
Hmm.
y'all exchange information, y'all
Right.
talk, y'all vibing,
Hmm.
everything's good. And let's say y'all even go out on a date or two.
Hmm.
And he says, "You know what? I think you're super cool. I definitely think you're attractive. Um, but I can't see myself being a father role model to a kids, but I would definitely love to still hang out with you from time to time, and whatever happens, happens.
Mhm.
Would you be disappointed?
I wouldn't be disappointed. It kind of depends on how far I let it go, because you can kind of tell. Like, you can kind of tell what I'm very intuitive, and I can kind of tell what someone's intention is, and I can tell from the way that they come at me, like the way that they hit on me. I can tell what their intention is right off the bat, because if a guy genuinely does want to get to know you, the way that they approach you is a lot different than someone who just wants to sleep with you. And you can see that right off the bat. So I guess it kind of just depends. Like, if I've been talking to this guy for like months, and then it kind of goes to that, then I think I would somewhat be a little bit disappointed, because I'd be like, you just wasted, 1, 2, 3, however many months, when you could have just told me that from the gate. You know what I mean? Instead of playing the little role you're trying to play, just
Because he,
to,
he well he
get.
played the role and it didn't work, so he said, "Let me get to the."
I mean, don't get me wrong. It has happened. It has happened.
So you've been hoodwinked before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's happened a lot, but I'm not gonna lie and say it's never happened. But yeah.
So what would you say is your, like I said, as a 36-year-old woman in her dating?
I'm 34. Don't add
Oh,
2 more
34,
years
my
to me,
bad.
please.
34 years old, 34-year-old woman in her dating prime. I didn't mean to put them extra 2 years on you.
Sorry, it's okay.
Do you feel, what do you think your options look like? And
Right
when I
now.
say options, I mean, like, do you feel like you have as many viable options as the woman like next to you? Like, where do you think that you?
What does a woman likes to me have? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be honest, just because of the person that I am, because I am a genuine person. I have a really big heart because of my personality, and I'm not saying it, to be cocky, or to be, like, it's what I've been told. It's what I've been told. When someone has a conversation with me, they tell me, like, you're a very, very genuine person. You have a big heart. It's easy to talk to you. You're not judgmental. Because of that, because of how I am, I do have a lot of, options. And, I don't look at it that way, though, if that makes sense. Like, I don't say like, oh, I can have any dude, doesn't matter if I have 8 kids, doesn't matter, what my past looks like, I can have any. It's not even about that, but it's just, I'm at the age right now where I'm like, yeah, I can, yeah, I have options, and I probably could pull any guy, but that's not what I want at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I don't want just someone I can have a good time with, or someone that I can, waste some time with. At the age that I'm at right now, and at the point that I'm at right now, it's like, I want someone who takes family serious. Like, I want someone that wants to go to family parties. I want someone that, like, hey, let's take the kids to the park. I'm not saying you have to splurge, you know what I mean? And we have to do Disneyland, and we have to do all these great theme parks. Like, something as simple as taking me and my kids to the park, like, that's a big gesture for me. And it's something that's free, and it's something that's simple. But it's just a huge gesture. Like, just the fact that you thought about me and my kids, that's big for me. So I'm at that age where I don't want just anyone, or I don't want all these options, or entertaining all these options. I want someone that can take that serious. Like, I want someone I can build with, and grow old with, and, all these different things that you hear about, that pertains to marriage, and your person. That's what I want.
Hmm.
So if I don't get it and I stay single for the rest of my life, I'll be okay with that too. Like I've
Nah,
already
yeah, that's what y'all say. Y'all all say, I ain't
No,
gonna
I'm so
settle. If I
serious.
gotta be single for the rest of my life, I'm gonna
I
just be
am so
single. Y'all
serious.
are not gonna
You
be
don't even know
y'all are not gonna stay
the
single for the rest
level
of your life.
of comfort I have with being alone is scary. Like you don't even understand. Like, but it's a different type of peace, and it takes a lot. And I think that because of what I've been through is why I can say that. Is because of
But
like,
none of that compares to you laying on the couch
oh well, no,
after a
of course
long
not.
day and having a
Absolutely not.
man rub your feet.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that it's better. Like, no, obviously not. But I'm saying if I cannot, if the man that is meant for me never finds me, or if it just doesn't work out that way, then it is what it is, and I'll be content with being by myself. But I won't settle again, is what I'm saying, because I've settled so many times for certain things, and I've let certain things, like certain boundaries, I've let them be crossed because of that, because like, oh well, I have to compromise and I have to, you know what I mean, like no one's perfect, and I'm not saying I need someone perfect because we're not perfect, but I'm saying like those were the justifications that I made for some of the things that I allowed, if that
Mm,
makes sense. So it's like from now on, like I've learned what my boundaries are, and I've learned what I want and what I don't want. And I've learned from what I've allowed and the level of disrespect that I've allowed, just to not be alone. So what I'm saying is,
mhm,
if that person doesn't carry those qualities that I'm looking for, or can't, like, and they're not like, I'm not asking for a lot. It's not like I'm asking for, like the moon and the stars and everything else. It's simple, like be respectful, um, have a good heart, be a good person, make the efforts that I make, because who doesn't want that? Like if you make efforts, you would want those efforts to be reciprocated. It's a mutual thing.
mhm.
And it's simple things like that. So my thing is if I don't ever find anyone like that, or if it just doesn't happen for me, then it's fine. I'll be alone for however long it takes, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to say like, oh well, this guy has all, this and that, but he's an ugly person on the inside. But I'm okay with that because I just don't want to be alone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand 100% what you're saying.
Why are you laughing? Why is he laughing? I just want to know why you're laughing, because there's something you want to say.
You muted.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, you're fine. He was muted.
Oh, he was muted. Okay.
I said I was laughing at the chat.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
let me
okay.
see. Geneva said, "When was the last time you rubbed my feet?"
Yeah, I was
Nah,
laughing
I
at
can
that.
Ooh,
understand what she is saying. When you go through a traumatic relationship, the peace that comes after being alone feels like a blessing.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but she not telling you the truth because she was still dating.
Wait,
She was still dating. She may
with
not,
who?
huh?
Who?
Geneva.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Geneva was still dating. She may not have been in relationships, but she was still dating.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And that's why I said, like, women, I feel like women will always say, like, I will be by myself for the rest of my life
Hmm.
before I compromise my peace again. And then y'all don't never be by yourself.
Yeah. No, seriously, right now, like it's not on my Bible and everything. Like it's not even, guys are in my inbox. I promise you, guys are in my inbox every day. What can I do to take you out on a date? What does it take to take someone like you on a date? And I'm just like, I don't even like, I won't even open the message. That's how traumatized I am, because I'm like, I don't even, the last time I did something on social media, it landed me in that traumatic experience, and I won't do that no more. But no, there are guys where like I will tell them like, hey, like I appreciate you, but right now I'm not where, like, I'm not stable enough to go on a date. And what I mean by stable is I'm not healed. I'm not healed, and I don't feel like going on dates is a part of my healing. So I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna waste your time, and I'm not gonna give you hope, and I'm not gonna give you false expectation and say like, oh yeah, we can go on a date, and we can do this and we can do that. But like I have no no intention of dating you or getting to know you or letting you in like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's where I'm at. Like,
Midlife meltdown said, "My cat licks my toes. Does that count?"
That's
Whatever
crazy work.
issue. That's crazy work. And the occasional thumb in the belly button. Oh, this sound like
Yeah, who is
the
that?
occasional thumb in the
Hillary.
belly
That's
button is
Hillary.
wild.
Oh my God. Hillary crazy ass, dude. She's crazy. Thumb in her belly, but I forgot about that shit. That shit was
The thumb
hilarious.
in the belly button. That's wild.
What up? What up? What up?
She said, "Hi guys, what's up? What's
Wait,
up?"
hold up. So you've dated two women with children. What about you? You didn't tell us if you've never dated a woman with children?
Who, me? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, plenty.
Okay. She said plenty.
Plenty. I mean, especially like, well, I would like I feel like I can divide my life into two like very distinct parts, right? It was the part before I had my son, and then the part after. And I feel like the part before I hadn't before I had my son, I might have dated a woman with a child, maybe like one maybe twice.
Okay.
So that's all the way from beginning of dating all the way up until 31, right? And then after, it kind of opened my mind more to dating women with children because I had a child and I felt like they were a lot more understanding. And so it's not necessarily that I sought out women with children, but I never turned down women with children before. So I feel like I just included them more into my search. So I've dated women with like babies. I've dated women with teenage children. And that's why I asked the question about like, do you expect for, or would you expect for the guy to come in and assume a certain role? Because as a guy who's dated women with children, a lot of the fathers are not present. And so when you go into this situation and you start getting to know her, you start getting to know the child, especially if it's a young boy, I feel like you do feel like a little bit of a compulsion to step in and do certain things because in your mind you think like, damn, his father don't never see him. He always with his mom or she's always with her mom, we should go, let's go do something. So I think that you realize that more as a guy from the male perspective. You see a lot more women who are who have children and the father's not in the picture. Whereas from a woman's perspective, you guys are usually with the kid all the time anyway. So just I don't want to say like the sob story, but it kind of tugs at the heartstrings. Like if you meet a girl and she's like, oh, my child is 10 and they don't ever see their father. He's never been in their life. You'd be like, damn, that sucks. Man, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. Like you want to do something because they don't get that experience. I don't know what that would be times 8. Like I don't know the most. I think the most children that a woman that I've dated has been 2.
Yeah.
I would say 2.
Okay, so let me share. So I mean, yes, I have 8 children, right? But my oldest 2, they're 18 and going on 17. So I mean, they don't really count because they're on their own, so it's more like there's 6 that are, like in the age where they need that attention or whatever, or they can't do for themselves like 100%. But when I met my third baby daddy, I was a single mom of 5. I was a single mom of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 2 kids himself. So that's 5, that's 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I told him the same thing. Like, hey, you don't want these problems. I'm a single mom of 5. Like, there's a lot going on. You have 2 kids. That would make it 7. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's where it's at. Like, if this is just gonna be like a we're messing around type thing, cool. You know what I mean? We just keep it at that, and we keep the kids out of it, and we don't go down that road, right? And he was like, no, like, like, I like you, so I respect you, and I respect everything that comes with you, and that's not my intention. Like, I'm not looking to just sleep with you and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna want to be with you, like, I want all of it, like, everything, right? And
Mm-hmm.
at first I was thinking like, yeah, okay, like, that's what they all say, like, that was the thing, right? But no, he literally, like, the minute that he stepped in, it was like my kids were his. Like, but this was something that he did on his own. It wasn't like something that he felt I was pushing on him, or something that he felt like he was obligated or compelled to do. Like, it was something that he decided to do and take on his own. And I will say, he did a very great job. Don't get me wrong. Like, he was a great stepfather to my kids, and my 3 kids, from the middle. So my oldest 2, their dad's always been present in their life, like, no
Mhm.
matter what, always been there, always been a great dad. Now my middle 3, their dad is a little different. He's always been in and out of prison, so not really present. And so at the time that I met my 3rd baby daddy, I was a full on, those 3 were 24/7 with me, never went with their dad's side of the family, nothing like that. They're always with me.
Mhm.
So I don't know if he felt like how you said it kind of pulls, your heartstrings to know, like, dang, like, they don't have their dad present in their life, like, they don't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that kind of made him, like, take that on per se. Um, but yeah, even when we had our R3, even when we had R3, he never treated my other 5 like different. He never changed up on
So
them.
y'all
Like,
had 10.
yeah, so we had 10 in total. So yeah, very, very, very crazy. So yeah, but he never switched,
Golly.
he never switched up on my kids. Like, he never treated, like, he was never like, oh, well, I only have 3 with her now, so, like, these are the 3 I'm gonna pay attention to. It was never
Mhm.
like that. It was like, he, and people would ask him too, like, hey, how many kids do you have? And he would be like, I have 10. And he was like, what? Like, people would look at him like, are you freaking crazy? Because, and then, you have to explain, like, well, this is what happened. But for him, he was like, no, I have 10. Like, yeah, they're all mine. I have 10. They're mine. Like, and, but it was just, that was just something that out of his own kindness of his heart is how he did that. So, and I've always told him, like, I respect him for that. Our fallout had nothing to do with him being with him being unfaithful or anything like that. It was just, a fallout that we had, and unfortunately it just didn't work out between us. But he was never like a bad person or a bad guy. We just didn't end up working out. But he was always a great father. Until this day, he will still associate with my kids. Like, he will still keep in contact with them. He will still do things with them. He'll ask me like, hey, your son reached out to me, said, if he could come to the lake with me and the other kids, is it okay? And I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. And he'll still do things with them, till this day. And we haven't been together for like 3 years now. So I guess it just depends on the person and how they look at that role.
Who is Jocelyn? Y'all know somebody named Jocelyn?
Yes, that is my best friend. That is one of the ones that I will start a podcast with.
Can you see me?
Yeah,
She
you
didn't
on live TV, Jocelyn.
She didn't want to join.
I was like, hey, how do you do?
Oh, you popped on the stage. I thought you wanted to be on the.
I'm so weak.
I mean,
You here now?
Let's hear it.
What's good?
You
What's
in
going
now?
on, Jocelyn? How many kids you got?
I got one.
Okay, now we're
One boy.
Now we're getting somewhere here.
See, birth control worked very well for her.
Birth control didn't work for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. It worked well for you.
She's upstairs. I'm like,
Felix
we're in the same house, by the way.
Now. Oh, she's just in a different part of the house.
Yeah, I live with her, so we're in the same house.
Oh, okay.
She's like
so
my sister.
Wait, so I'm assuming you guys are both single, right?
Yes. Well, no, I'm sorry. No.
I'm not. She is.
Oh.
He said, "Oh." That was the saddest "oh" I ever heard.
But how are you helping her with her in her new journey? Like how is that going?
She reminds me not to be stupid.
Yeah. Every day. Yeah, good morning, boo. Don't be stupid today. It's a new day.
It's like living with a drug addict. Like, good morning. Don't do no crack today.
It's the quote of the day. Don't be stupid today.
Yeah.
And she'll send me videos and reels like sometimes God will send you your ex just to test you and see if you're still stupid. And I'm like, you right. Let me put this phone down before I accidentally do something.
I've been reminding him.
Every day.
So I so you're in this new journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
That includes not doing it, right?
Mm-mm.
So realistically, in your heart of our hearts, in this day and age, what's your expectation of a dude who's willing to put up with someone who they spend time with, they spend money on, and they're not getting any cookies?
Yeah.
And that person
who has 8 children,
right?
6
so clearly been giving up the cookies.
Oh, all of a sudden you want to put a lid in the cookie jar.
Now it's the lid on the cookie jar.
Hey, I told him about that story about the guy who got so offended because I was like, no, like I'm not looking to smash, and he was so offended that he was like, oh, she got baptized and she all of a sudden she ain't not a hoe no more.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I just. You have to understand where the guy is coming from here. Like, what's your thought about that?
I definitely do, and that's why I told him like, hey, I'm sorry I gave you the wrong impression before, but I'm just not in that mentality anymore of like I'll just go
I think in the beginning you gave him the right impression, and then he was like, I take that right back.
I took it back.
A time where you was going.
I don't blame
her. Backspace delete.
Right. I didn't blame him. Like I didn't blame him for being offended. I didn't blame him for going out of his way and having to make a post about it. I didn't blame him for none of that because I was like, I get it. Like I gave you that impression in the beginning and I made you think, you know what I mean? Like you was gonna get somewhere. And then I took it from you and you know, and it didn't happen. But
diabolical.
Yeah.
But the thing is, why are you so hurt when you didn't even get nowhere? Like you didn't get a date, you didn't get anything. So why?
We never met.
If I didn't get, if you, I just messaged you and you gave me,
and this is all through social media, so it wasn't like he had my number or nothing. We never talked on the phone.
None of that. You never met me, but you're so hurt by somebody you've never met. You go and make a post like that's childish. That's crazy.
No, I think we're all in agreement with that. That Buddy was
he's out of pocket.
he was ready. He was crashing out over somebody he ain't never met. So
yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
that's weird behavior, and it's a good thing she probably didn't give him no cookies because he probably would have been hard to get rid of. If this night he didn't get it.
He would have
That
been really
part.
hard to get rid of because it would have
That
been baby
part.
number 9 probably.
Right.
He
No.
wasn't
God,
getting
no more
anywhere
babies.
else, and he was like, "I'm finally gonna get some." Bam. They sealed that jar. New water.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. That's why I said what I had said about how I look at it different now, and about the soul ties and stuff, because you don't know who you're about to allow in your life. And if I had hooked up with old boy, I don't know, he could have became another nightmare. He could have became a stalker. He could have got upset. I don't know. So that's
Okay,
why I'm like,
okay.
it's crazy.
Listen. So
You never know. Like, people
listen.
are mad
I
weird these days.
don't subscribe to the soul
Okay.
tie
So
conversation.
I don't.
Well,
That's the soul ties. Yeah.
I believe in that.
Tomatoes,
That shit is so
tomatoes.
real. That is so real. You might not believe in that, but I do. Like, it's insane.
I understand that that's a thing.
It
soul
is.
Which
ties.
one?
It's real. The soul
I'm
ties.
big into energy. I do Reiki and stuff like that. So I totally understand like where you're coming from, but cut it out. Cut it out. You just haven't found the right dude.
You're
with
right.
with the right game to let him crack. As simple as that.
No.
I think it's also who you hang around with and what you tend to do. That has a lot to do with it. Because if you're out, in places that are not really good for you, you're not really gonna meet somebody that should be in the level that you're hoping for, or in a different level.
Mhm.
So it's all around what you do and who you surround yourself with. That can change you. It can either make you or break you.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, so
Genetic
many
code is
girls complain about finding a good man, but they're at the club every weekend. You're not most likely probably not going to find a good man at the club, because
So
I mean,
where are you going to find these young men at?
You don't do date naps.
I'll go take my ass to the library. And if I'm not a good man there,
you don't have to look good.
No, honestly,
spot.
No, I don't know.
You can find somebody good at the club. You can find somebody good at a bar. It just depends.
What are they doing at the club?
Right. That's that part. Yeah. It's So what are they doing?
Standing by the bathroom trying to catch every girl that walk by. He may not be.
You may need to.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah, but he doesn't have to be. He just has to be right now. That's it.
Well, if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you won't necessarily ever know what they're looking for until they get it.
No, I'm saying like, if you're looking to just go out and hook up, then you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares?
No,
as long as the
like,
person looks good.
No. Like, what I'm saying is that I can go out with, not me personally, but said dude could be a chameleon. He could be a chameleon for whatever that girl wants.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like you said, guys will tell you whatever you want to hear.
Exactly.
And realistically, you'll see whatever you want to see. Like, you will put that man and picture him the way that you want to see him, instead of what really is. Because that's what you want at the moment. That's what you want to see at the moment. That's what you want from that person at the moment. And that you're going to create this whole narrative.
Yep.
And then boom, baby. Boom, baby.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
like I said,
if any young girls are watching, don't make the same mistakes I did.
Okay, so wait,
but that's how they learn.
What's the mistake that you feel like you made? What's a mistake you feel like you made?
A mistake? Where do I even start? You mean the mistakes that I've made?
What's the biggest mistake you feel like you made?
What do I say? How do I say? I would say
letting shit slide that you shouldn't be letting slide.
Not only that, yeah, like not paying attention to red flags for sure, and and being blinded by the potential that I created versus the reality of what someone is. But I will also say the mistake that I made was jumping to create children and starting a family in the stage of the honeymoon, because everything feels pretty and it's all rainbows and butterflies, and everything is going good because it's that honeymoon stage. It's that stage where you're blinded, where you're ignoring all the red flags, or you're justifying, certain behaviors because that's what you want to see the potential and not really what it is. And I think that's a part of the mistake that I made.
So I mean, despite all the like the BC issues, these dudes were just splashing or what? Like
was these conversations that were had like, I really like you, let's start a family?
So with my first baby daddy, no, because I was 15 when I had my first child. I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I had said, like, I was doing things at ages that I had no business doing. But because I thought I was grown and I thought I knew better and I thought my mom was just holding me back from trying to have fun, life happened, right? So it wasn't like, we had a conversation and was like, oh yeah, like let's just have kids, No. Now I will say with my second baby daddy, that was a conversation. That we did have a conversation because he did not have kids when I met him, and I had two. So it was a conversation of, we eventually want to have our own child. Now I didn't plan on having three children with him, but one of those children happened to be one of the birth control failures. So it was what it was. But we did have a conversation of, we do want to have our own child. And I will say our first daughter that we had together, she was actually planned. Like we did actually plan for her. And also our son, because we wanted to have a boy and a girl. But the girl that came in between those two was the birth control failure. So it was with him, it was like we did have a conversation, and it wasn't like just like, oh, but that in between, that wasn't, I mean, we weren't trying, but we also weren't avoiding it per se, if that's if that's the right word. But yeah.
So he was splashing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Man, that's risky business, man. That's risky business.
Very, very.
But I mean, I understand you guys wanted a family, but man, that's still risk. And I do understand that each of your baby dads, they were long-term relationship. I totally get that. But man, splashing, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Said, go stop taking them pills and let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop taking
could
the
be
pills.
Next week, could be a year and a half from now.
Right. Right. Let's just see.
Roll the dice.
Let's just see. Dude, the level of fertility I had was insane. I promise.
That's why they say you can't look at Latin girls. Don't even look at them.
Yeah, no.
Don't even look at them.
Yeah, don't even look at it. It's not even a joke. Like my grandma, she had 15 kids. So I came from a big family. So, the messed up part is the one person that did inherit her infertility was me, because all of my other cousins, none of them had as many kids as I do. My brother is the only one that came close. He had 7. But one of them wasn't biologically his, so technically he had 6. But my mom was like, y'all need to stop. I don't know if you're in competition with each other, but this is outrageous. Like, you guys need to stop right now.
I can't keep dropping these kids off over here.
Right, yeah.
Geneva said, what are the ages of your children?
So
18 and 17.
18, and then I have my 13, 12, 11-year-old, and then my 8, 7, and going on 6-year-old.
Damn, there was a bam, 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 bam.
It was back to back, like, yeah.
Yeah, he was splashing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, insane. Insane.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I just don't understand. Like, after child number 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, I'd be like, what the F is going on?
Yeah, well,
Like,
I did say that, and after my 6th child, my 6th and my 7th child, like I tried to do the whole tube thing, I got denied, and I was like, yo,
that's
but I have
crazy.
this many kids, and they're like, yeah, but we don't do it like that anymore,
That's
and I'm
right.
like,
That's right.
yo, what the world? Yeah.
So wait, okay,
I remember when I was in Arizona, and I wanted to have a vasectomy, and they told me I was too young.
Yeah.
And I
See,
was
like
over 35.
Okay, wait. So after they told you that you couldn't do the tubes tied, was Buddy?
I went on the
Buddy
IUD.
still splashing?
She was pregnant. She was pregnant at the time.
I mean, so no, I wasn't pregnant at the time, but after I had my 6th kid, and that was the first time that I tried to put in the paperwork for to get my tubes, and they denied it. I went on the IUD, right? Because I felt, I don't know, I had heard that, the IUD is pretty strong, and whatever. That was a lie, because I ended up getting pregnant with my 7th child while I was on the IUD. So I was like, yo, like, what the heck? So then after I had my 7th child, I put in the paperwork again, and I went on an IUD again, but I went for the different one. So the first one I did the copper one. And then the second one I did the I think it's called the Morena. I don't know, it's this plastic one. So I tried them both. I was like, maybe for some reason, I don't know, maybe my body just rejected one over the other. I don't know, but I tried the other one.
Don't work.
And
that motherfucker, and I got pregnant with my 8th child. Yeah. You best pray, because let me tell you. So the plastic one that I tried, my doctor saying, when I found out that I was pregnant, and I was like, dude, how's that possible? She was like, well, I can't find your IUD. So, and they did an ultrasound, didn't find it. They were like, it must have fell out. How in the world and when but I think the bad thing was that I was still getting my periods when I was on that. And for some reason I was clotting. So I don't know if with that it just came out, and somehow, I don't know. I don't even know, but I've heard so many stories about those things, like babies being born with them in their skulls, like just a lot of crazy stuff. The first one moved up into my stomach. They had to take it out, and I was already pregnant. So it was like, oh, well, it's those things are dangerous, like dangerous.
Felix said y'all wasn't using protection.
We sure was not. I'm not gonna lie to you. We sure was not.
It was the Wild West.
It was
Ray Allen, Game 6.
I mean, I was in committed relationships with these guys, so I didn't, like that's another mistake that y'all young ladies take note. That's another mistake. Don't assume that just because you're only sleeping with that one person that it's okay to not wrap it up. Like, still, don't rely on the birth control, and don't rely on I've only been with this one person, so it don't matter. Like, no.
Yeah. Man, make sure you wrap it up, people. Wrap it up.
Learn from my mistakes. Let me tell you.
Don't be a fool.
I've made the mistakes for you, so you can learn from.
Right. Yeah. Jay-Z.
Yes.
Hey, but listen. I mean, as I said at the top of the show, 8 kids. Kudos to you. That's it takes a strong woman to, put out 8 kids. So yeah. Like I said, I mean, you might got that good, I guess, but something's got to give. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. I low key was thinking to myself, like, damn, I want to know what everybody else was trying to figure out.
I'm not even lying to you. I've always been like, well, now I'm kind of curious as to what you're feeling, because I mean, I can't feel myself, so now I'm curious to know what that even means. Like, I want to know too.
You got to stand up for you. It's the booty.
Hey, let me see it. We gotta see it.
You gotta
see it.
I'll show you.
All natural.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Look at that.
Okay, you got a little fatty.
Yeah, a little. I mean, there's a lot going on right there. So there's a lot going on
right there.
So what you're saying is dudes are seeing that and saying, I don't care how many kids she got.
It could be a possibility.
They're willing
to risk it for the biscuit. It could be a
You gotta risk
possibility.
it
I
for the
don't know.
biscuit. You have to.
It could be a possibility. It could be. I don't know.
They're saying this is what dudes think, and dudes are thinking, "Damn, she's such a great mother. I'm gonna give her another one. She's so great. She's doing such a good job. I'm gonna give her another kid so she can keep doing a great job."
I'm saying it could be. It could be possible. I don't know.
Felix said that's why bro was mad he ain't hit.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why he was upset.
Said I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit.
You gotta risk it.
Yeah, I mean, man.
Damn. I don't know if that's a risk I'm willing to take. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna be lying. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a guy,
as a dude, you probably like if you met a girl and she said it's okay, I'm on a pill or I have an IUD. KP, how many times have you been like, nah, I don't trust it?
The IUD?
Anything.
The birth control I don't trust. The IUD, until she just told me that, I definitely trust. I used to splash all the time with the IUD in. IUD, I'm splashing every single time. Or I was.
Splash party.
Yeah.
Splash party.
You can get it.
Yeah.
Splash party. I mean,
splash party.
Going to get the towel and wipe it everywhere, splash it everywhere.
All right. I have a question. Are you guys the type to give the girl the towel first and have her clean herself, or are you the type to clean yourself and then give her the towel? When you
off
the bat.
Give her the towel.
Give her the towel first.
Is that like a right now thing now that you're older, or did you used to clean yourself first off before when you were younger?
That's an older thing.
Yeah,
I think it's an older thing. Because when you're younger, you like stay right there, don't move.
I'm talking about.
And you get to the bathroom first. You like, well, let me be in here for 30 seconds real quick. Here you go, babe.
I'm already here, right?
But as you get older, you might have some R&B playing, and you got a candle lit, and here you go, babe. I made it lukewarm, just how you like it.
Yeah, a towel warmer. That's cute.
The experience is still going when you're older. When you're younger, it's over. Like.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jocelyn. I'm not doing a towel warmer. I'm just gonna throw that shit in her face and have her see if she does.
Do what you got. Do what you gotta do.
I'm just joking.
Handle it.
Here's a free facial. You're welcome.
Hey, not
Jocelyn,
me.
What you don't know about KP is that there's 2 packages you can sign up for.
Period.
Not me over here.
There's a couch package and an upper room package.
I'm so dead. Not me over here jealous. Y'all got towels. I got shirts.
Not his shirt.
That's crazy.
I'm like, y'all got towels?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Got a shirt.
April, you've been settling.
Yeah.
You don't even know. Do you understand? Do you understand why I'm traumatized now and I don't answer no DMs or none of that? Like
you've been settling.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing it all wrong.
Oh man, I think
8 kids later, and I just realized I've been doing it wrong.
Who had gone out, had his first date, and it was they met and they smashed or whatever, and he was surprised. Like, yeah, he was so nice. Like, it was so nice of him. He paid for my Uber, and I was like,
who you talking about?
Not me.
I had a friend who was like when guys do things.
I thought you talking about April. I said,
right?
I see a trend.
So guys do things, and they were just so proud that their friend just sent him in an Uber, and I said, does he have a car? And they're like, yeah,
Uber.
Yeah, and I was like,
he was so nice,
and he said, yeah, he was such a gentleman. He even paid for it. I said.
He even paid for the Uber.
I'll be fucking damned if you think you're gonna send me home in an Uber.
See, I've never done that, and I've never done that. I've never done that.
She said, "Ain't no way."
Ain't no way. I am stuck up. You better come pick my ass up, if anything, and you dropping me back off. if that were the case.
No, the come pick you up part. That may be. It depends on. That depends on the situation. If you're out drunk,
wait a minute.
You might have to Uber to the crib, depending on how late it is.
I can't do it when I personally can't do it when I stand, which is why it's a.
You've never done a one night stand.
I don't like. It couldn't.
No, you said I don't like it. It's not the same as I've never done it.
No, I started. So it was a one time, and I started right, and I was being a wingman, right. One of our best friends, Esme, right. She was dating a dude, and
he had a homie.
And dude had a homeboy. Homeboy wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh my God. And I was like, And out of the three of us, I'm the very one that's like, nah, I'm good. I guess you can say I'm the stuck up one, or the one, your friend's tight type of thing, right? I was always like,
probably the mom of the group, right?
Yes, the mom of the group. But I was snotty. I am. I'm just. If I don't like something, I don't like it, and I don't care how bad you're gonna feel, and I just don't do it, right? So we were hanging out, and we were talking, right? We started making out a little bit, and I was like, I don't know. And then we kept making out, and then I was like, you know what, dude? I said, I'm good. And he's like, what you mean you're not? He's like, you're gonna leave me like this? I said, yeah, you're a big boy. You can handle yourself. He's like, but your friend's up there. I said, then go get in line. I said, I'm out. I said, not because my friend's up there giving us the cookies. I said, not because my friend's up there means that you're gonna get it with me. So I said, I'll text her and let her know that I left, and I left. Just, I don't know. It wasn't for me. I was about to try it that day, and it just wasn't for me.
Huh. Interesting.
So y'all was running a 2-girl, and you left the girl.
That's crazy. Like, what if something happened to her that night?
Well, my friend kept it going with her man. Dude got mad and apparently ended up leaving. He was like, I'm only here for a couple of weeks, because he was here for baseball. He was from the DR. And I said, okay. I'm sure why are you so mad? There's other girls that are probably wanting to do you. So hit up somebody else.
Yeah, they be running in Scottsdale. Spring training.
Period.
Spring training.
Running.
Q baby, what's going on? One of my oldest friends, Quinn, checking in. What's up, Q baby? Do you feel like there was an expectation in that situation?
Yeah, he was expecting me to put out because he saw that my friend did. So he thought that he expected me to. And I'm sure that's probably something that he was used to, because they were both baseball players. So a girl turning them down was like a big what the hell? It was
something that went home with somebody else tonight.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
It just wasn't me. I'm the type of wingman. I will be there to support you and stuff.
No, you gotta see it. If you're gonna be a wing girl, you gotta see the mission.
I can't see it all the way through.
She said,
I can't see it all the way through.
Abort mission.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you right there at the doorstep.
Terry checking in. Terry, what's up? He said there's always some expectations, but real ones got a backup plan if the mission isn't accomplished.
That part.
You gotta at least give him a little. You gotta at least give him a little circle jerk or something. At least give him a little circle. At least give him a little circle jerk until your friend gets done.
She said he got some kisses.
He got some kisses. Because why it gotta be that I gotta give him some? Why couldn't he just give me some?
Well, you didn't say that part of the story. Did he try?
No, he did not try.
Would you have let him?
If that had been the situation, I would have probably got me some head and just left. Realistically.
Damn, that's cold-blooded.
That's grimy.
That's
cold-blooded.
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
He was, but that's the thing, is that not a lot of dudes are trying to do that when they're just trying to hit and quit. They just want to bust and go. They don't care about all that extra stuff, or they expect to get
No
the
warm
treated,
towel.
right? Yeah, no warm towel, no towel at all. Clean yourself up. There's a shirt. There's some right there
No
around you.
towel at all.
Use something. There is something that is probably right there. Use your own shirt, type of thing. Yeah, no. See, they don't care. So they don't care if you, because most likely, realistically, I probably wasn't gonna get mine. If dude was used to girls just putting out, I wasn't gonna get mine. So what was I gonna gain from it? Probably an STD.
I mean, that's true.
Probably.
Terry said at least give me
I would have
something
got
more.
no
Really
nut.
want to come back.
I would have got no nut and an STD.
Damn.
There was no win for me. It was a loss.
That's a terrible
And it
night.
probably wasn't gonna be good anyways.
That's a terrible night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know when to call it quits. I leave. When it ain't for me, it ain't for me.
You can't April, you can't wingman with Jocelyn because you might look around and you might be high and dry.
I'll be on my own. I'll be on my own.
She just leave you in a room full of wolves and just be gone. Like, girl, it wasn't for me. I'm out.
I'll look back and my wingman will be home. My wingman will be home.
I'll look and be like, you shouldn't do that. And if she goes and does that, I'll be like, all right, bro, I told you.
Do you?
I'll see you when you get home.
Yeah.
Keep your location on.
So I know
I can pick up when things are not right from the get-go, but that's just me. I can.
But you ain't gonna block your friend from it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Said,
look, if my friend really want to get it, no. If my friend really want to get it, then she gonna get it. But realistically, I think because I'm not an enabler, I think when they hang out with me, and if I remember correctly, that's not the type of nights that they have with me. When my friends go out with me, we have fun. We amongst each other. I don't think that there's been a night when when I've had to like wingman April or had anything to do with like guys and friends where I'm like, I have to talk to a friend or she has to talk to one of mine. Because I don't think it's just not me.
Yeah.
Like when my friends go out with me, we go out for friends, for vibes.
Yeah.
It's not to pick up dudes. That's never been my thing. I'm not really into it. So I think when my friends go out with me, they know what to expect, and it's very different than when they go out with their other friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I'm just more, I don't know. I don't like certain things. I like to go out, have fun. I don't care. It's not to go pick up. I can buy my own drinks. I can do my own everything. I have my own house. I have my own car. I have my own everything. So realistically, when I go out, I don't go out searching. And I don't like to go out searching. Even when I was single, I never searched. And it was never to go pick up dudes. It was always about going out and being with my friends and enjoying the company that I had with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's the difference. So I can't say that with like April or any of my best friends that they've been in any type, I put them in any situation like that because they also knew me. So it was very rare when I was ever in a situation that I had to do or acted like I was interested.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been times where your wing woman services have been called upon and we need to run this 2-man.
Right.
I like old boy.
But the thing is, these times were, I think I was under 23, 22.
Yeah.
That's when those times were. And I'm going to be 34 in September. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah, because when you're in your 20s, you don't have the same mindset you do as you start entering your 30s and you get a little bit older and you get a little bit more experience and you kind of go through certain situations. When you're in your 20s, you're just wilding. You really don't even think about
I don't run 2-man no more.
I was also that friend where if I'm coming, either I'm driving and you're not bringing other friends. It's kind of weird. But if I was going, other girls not that they weren't allowed to go, but they wouldn't invite other people because I was also very particular about who I hung out with because I don't like dealing with messiness and I was always very straightforward with it. I don't like taking care of other girls. I don't like girls making me feel embarrassed because they're in that same crowd as I am. That was just something that I would not do. And so my friends knew that if I was coming along, no other people would pretty much join. It'd be April, it'd be somebody else that I actually knew, but there would be no random people invited, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and it's because they knew me, and I don't stand for a lot of stuff. I honestly don't even like when girls use men to do shit, or, or when people expect, I don't know. It's just, I don't like that. And I've always been like that. So they never invited friends.
Yeah.
I can get along with people. I'm very good at getting along with people, but when it comes to being in the same circle, I don't, I don't know. I guess I'm not as inviting. I can say hello and I can have a conversation, but it's all going to depend on your energy and how you act. And if you act a certain way, it'll make me feel uncomfortable, and I just don't do it, and I will leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
So you're the mean one in the group that drove, basically.
Yes.
No,
and when you're ready to go, everybody gotta go. And when you're ready to go, everybody gotta go with you because you was the ride.
No, it was not like that.
When I was ready to go, I would go if I knew that they had a safe ride home.
Yeah.
Or if they picked me up, they wouldn't pick up anybody else.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they're gonna be driving around.
I feel like we've all kind of been like that with each other, though. Like
I'm a Virgo.
She's a Virgo. she I think we've all kind of been like that. Like I've only had her and my other best friend as friends, like that I can say like these are my friends since we were in 6th grade. Like that's just what it was. Like I didn't like, I had acquaintances, you know what I'm saying? Like we have acquaintances and we make acquaintances throughout our lives, but to sit there and say like, oh, this is my friend, I was never like that. And I think that me, her, and our other best friend, I think that's why we worked out so well, is because we're each like that. Like our other best friend, she's a barber, so she meets lots of people. She's very social. Even when we're out with her, like she'll talk to, socialize. She's a social butterfly, right? Because she's a barber, she's networking, and she's, as she should. So I will say like she's always had like, other friend groups per se, or like other girls that she's invited out to party and things like that. And I was okay with that. Like it didn't bother me, but I wouldn't get attached to where I would be like, oh yeah, those are your friends, they're my friends now too. No, I'd be like, well, those are your friends, cool. As long as they're good vibes, cool. We can all hang out and have a good time or whatever. But to say like that, like I will only go out with them too. Like I never had a group of girls or anything like that. So it's funny because sometimes guys would be like, hey, come out, bring your girls. I'm like, I only got 2 girlfriends and they're both married right now. I don't.
It was like
it's not gonna happen.
I don't have any friends.
Yeah. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have friends. I just have 2 best friends that are more like my sisters than friends, and that's it. Like that's that's all you get.
Don't bring them.
Yeah. Don't bring them. Yeah.
Don't bring them.
Don't bring them. Yeah. Yeah. No.
What about you guys?
I mean, I think like me and KP are very similar in the sense that we have. I think that we make very strong connections with very few people. I don't have I could probably count my close guy friends on 2 hands, and most of us don't live in the same place. Like I got friends in AZ, I got friends in Chicago, I got a couple of really close guy friends here in Florida. Like we make very strong connections with very few people because, and I'm sure women probably think about this the same way, but as a guy, I have to be able to trust you with my life.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we don't have to worry about the same things that women do, right? Like if me and KP was out somewhere and we met two girls, and he was like, Dave, I'm leaving, I'm not going to be concerned with getting murdered or anything like that. You know, those type of things that women have to worry about. Men don't have to worry about those type of things. But I would never let him put himself in a bad situation. Like if he's stumbling, falling down, he's like, Dave, I'm gonna go over here. I'm like, bro, you sure you want to go do that? You know, he grown at the end of the day, he gonna do what he want to do. But I also would feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that he's straight. So at the end of the day, you still want to put yourself around people who you know have your best interest. And you can't do that with everybody. Everybody is not gonna have your best interest. So that's why I say I feel like we make very strong connections with very few people. Because it pays to keep your circle small. I think at the end of the day.
1,000%.
It pays to keep your circle. Like when I met KP, I think we had met some twins that would have pool parties. And at the pool party, it would probably be like, let's just say it was like 10 girls, 10 dudes at the pool party. But all the dudes at the pool party weren't close. Right? Now, me and KP met at the pool party, and this was, 2011, 2012, 2013, something like that. You muted.
I've been in Arizona since 15.
So 2015. Most of the dudes that were at the parties, I don't talk to no more. Now that don't mean that we fell out. We still probably cool, but we had never bonded like that. You know.
You can't. Not everybody. You don't bond with everyone. It's different.
Yeah.
You can be cool with people, but it don't mean you bond with them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just like Terry. Terry was in the chat. Like I've known Terry probably 10 years. And I didn't even really know Terry. I just knew him from basketball. But we had the chance to hang out a couple of times before I left Arizona a couple years ago, and we bonded. You know, we've always known each other, but them couple of times we got to hang out, we bonded. So, yeah, like I said, I can count them on two hands. I can count them on two hands.
I think that the people that I keep close to me, like my friends that I call now, like everyone, there's not a single one that I could not call and they won't be there. I can text them all right now and all of them would be here right now. Like if I needed something, they'd all show up at my doorstep, no and ifs or buts. Every single one of them. Because the people that I keep around me are people that I know are gonna have me, that care for my well-being, that care about me personally, not just about, I don't know, let's say who I am or what I can give them.
They can benefit from.
They're not leeches. And that is one thing that I'm proud. Now I have a pretty big group of friends right now, and now mind you, everyone is from different groups, but they're all really like, I have best friends. Now I have my two main, April and Esme, right? And then there's like a chain, but they're all still super close to me. And I love that. I love that I have friends that I can go out with and it's a genuine connection and it's not feeding off. They're not looking for something. It's a give and give. And the loyalty is there. Loyalty is a big thing. And that comes in any relationship you make, whether it's just friends, whether it's dating or an actual romantic relationship, loyalty is a big thing.
Yeah.
And they have to fit your vibe. They have to meet like your mindset. If people aren't in the same mindset, then they don't fit in your group. They don't fit what you're trying to do. They don't fit in anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and if some people get left behind, and unfortunately, you could have a solid group right now, and people will get left behind, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you ain't cool. It just means that the mentality has changed, and it's just different paths.
They can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not. There's no loyalty. It just means. Look, we can all eat. It doesn't mean we're gonna sit together, type of thing.
Yeah. And so when y'all gonna start y'all podcast?
Soon.
When I got time.
She gonna make time.
Right, because y'all been saying that.
No, yeah, we definitely need to get it started, because the stories that we would be able to tell from all the dumb stuff we did back in the day is just it would be crazy.
She said,
I don't know if she's doing that much talking.
I don't know if she's ready to tell them stories. She said,
Yeah, I'm an open book. I'll say it. They're good times. Great times.
Yeah.
We should definitely have them both on again. And I like Jocelyn's energy. I like April's energy. I think we can get a little spicier if I had a little bit more time.
Yes. Well, we have to do it again. We have to do like an adult only though, because things can get a little too explicit.
A little not safe.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you ain't gonna be talking about it because you're on a life journey right now. So
hey, it's okay to talk about my past. It's okay to talk about my past because it's not who I am
Well, what
anymore,
are we gonna do when we run out of stories? You're gonna have to help back on it. Somebody gotta do it. I'll drive you.
Be like, April, you telling the same stories. We need more material. I need you to get back out there.
No.
I'll take her. Don't worry. I'll take her.
Geneva said, "KP, your lips fat while you're looking."
You're so stupid.
But yeah, let's. We definitely have to do this again.
Yes.
And we definitely want to be part of y'all podcast whenever y'all get around the
Yes.
We'll come be guests on y'all show too. We'll bring our over there too. So, but thank both of y'all. Even though Jocelyn, you didn't know you was gonna be on the show today.
I didn't know. I kept telling her. I said I can't join. I said I can't see it. I said because it keeps asking me for a mic and video. She's like, just press on it. You'll be able to watch it. And so when I did, I was like.
I think I sent her the wrong link. My bad.
You sent her the wrong link.
I sent her the link you sent me instead of the freaking other one. My bad.
Somebody else named Mel popped in too, but they picture never came up.
Oh, that was probably my daughter. Oh. I think she might have got sent the wrong link too.
I sent her the link that she sent me.
Yeah. My bad.
I remember my first time using YouTube.
My bad.
No wonder she told me. I said, "Were you able to see your mom?" I said, "Because I couldn't see it. It kept asking me to join." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "But I got off because I got cringe."
She's horrible. The worst.
But yeah,
It'd be your own kids.
They be at you. They be at your neck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely thank both of you guys for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
I had a great time. Can't wait.
KP, you got anything for us?
Yes, April, it was a pleasure. It was nice to meet you. And
you too.
And hopefully, you guys could come on again and have some more spirited conversations. And Jocelyn, thank you for joining as well.
Thank you guys.
If you guys are ever in the East Valley, come holler at me.
East Valley, how far east?
South Scottsdale, Tempe.
Okay.
She said, "How far east?"
Well, yeah.
She in Avondale, so she ain't going too far.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hey, thank you for everyone for joining us. Monica, Nick, Felix, Terry, Geneva, Chuck, Terry. I think I said Terry.
Hillary,
yeah, Hillary, thank you guys so much for joining us. Much appreciated. And yeah, thank you, ladies. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys.
Next time,
Nice meeting you.
next time we're gonna have to get the audio figured out for Jocelyn. You know, we're gonna have to get that figured out a little bit. I just winked behind my sunglasses, so
Okay.
All right. Well, we gonna take off. Everybody have a great rest of your week.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, guys.